Okay, social media ruined the internet. I know there's people out there that will say, well, I think the internet ruined society, it ruined the world, and I disagree with that. It's kind of black and white thinking. Uh, I it's hard to respond to this comments like that. I mean, people that make statements like that are kind of painting a one thing with a wide, broad brush stroke. Just have to ignore them. I mean, there's a lot that can be said for the internet. I mean, I don't know how else. I mean, we wouldn't have gotten such great access to information. We might not have normally otherwise have. But I say, hands down, I think social media is the big bugaboo. And I'm going to tell you about, I can't tell you how many teachers I had when I was in school, and one of the most important things they would tell us is, if it isn't something that should be shared with everybody here, you should keep it to yourself. I guess that would go for, for things like food, or I don't know, mementos of, like, back then we had, we still had CDs and cassettes. I don't know, music, other things you treasure. Nowadays, and the word overshare, I don't know where I heard that, but I never heard a teacher say that. I think it was just, she just made an important point that things that really did not need to be, unless you were talking about show and tell day, and show and tell is something like, I don't know, first or second grade. I don't know. I know I'm probably a little bit out of touch because I don't know what's like for kids today, but always keep it to yourself is what comes to mind whenever I look at the really dark side of social media. Start from, I remember when I first got on Facebook. It was a long time ago. Probably, I guess it was sometime before 2010, I have to say. I liked it I liked Facebook back when it was new, because it seemed like a novelty. You know, not everybody knew about it. People were using it to do things that were more, I don't know, less ego gratifying. Like they would use it to start fundraisers. So let's say hypothetically a natural disaster happened, and they were having people in the community were having a hard time getting support, so they might start something on a Facebook page, and then everybody finds it, and they're helping them out, which I think is great. And I know people still do that, but honestly, these platforms are just, to me, it's like an epidemic of narcissism, egomania, solipsism. I think that big three words were. So don't get me wrong. Now today, there's two things on Facebook I like in particular, but I pretty much leave the rest at the door. I like niche groups. I am a part of a few niche groups now. I used to be part of a really good blogging group. I got a lot of help out of that. And niche groups are great, whatever your interest is. As long as you give as much as you take, you'll be just fine. And don't troll anyone. But the main feed, the second thing, I like the marketplace. I like that too. That's it's a little bit like eBay. You might find things. We found local yard sales we wouldn't have learned about otherwise. That was nice. But the main feed, I started talking about it, and then he switched off. Sorry. I don't know. Everybody, the stuff that goes out there. I mean, and I used to have this one relative. All she would put on her feed is all these these little goofy, you remember, what was that character? Remember the Despicable Me and yeah, oh, the Minions. Yeah, everything was a meme with a minion. That was all she could think of. She was just not a very, I guess she just wasn't a very original person. And this was a relative of mine from a long time ago, and we pretty much drifted apart. But it's just, God, it's just, I just can't take that. Everything is just, look at me, look at me, look at me. I demand attention. And I think that is what it is about social media. I really don't like. It's just a non-stop, I don't know, cesspool of attention seeking and ego gratification. And I just can't get over, I mean, there are people that make these videos talking about how, and I mean, I know I make doomer content. I'm talking about people that get into these long tirades about, I don't know, and a lot of them I don't really align with their value system, so that could be part of it. But they get on there and cry and have a crash out. I'm thinking, I don't know, should the people, I mean, this is telling us where we are in a society. We're really just gone. I don't know. But it just all the non-stop drama videos. This goes back to the whole thing about oversharing, and every time I see a video like this, I find myself thinking back to these teachers I had that were always cautioning us about, you need to keep it to yourself. If it's not something that should be shared with everybody in this room, you need to keep it to yourself. Well, we're not talking about just a room now. We're talking about the whole damn free world with people like these videos out. I mean, I could never bring myself to do something like that. I mean, I don't know. If you're having a bad day, tell a friend. I hope you got friends, or a therapist. I don't know. I don't, it's, there needs to be a little unspoken rule. People will come and go, but the internet is forever. Do you really really think about this? I mean, maybe in the year 2050, one day somebody's going to see that and think, oh my God, is this what people were like? Oh, okay. Yeah, but it's really, I mean, there's another side to this, I mean, we could always say the points I made about what social media is doing, but it's done another thing, and this could be a good thing. It has exposed some of these kind of people for their base natures. It has exposed the narcissism and the ego gratification and constant validation seeking 24/7. It has brought it to light. You can't get rid of evil in the world. You have to expose it. So I guess you could look at it that way. But honestly, I remember the days when the pre-social media internet to me was a much better place. I mean, it wasn't perfect. There were always bad places out there too. But you could be more authentic. You didn't have to worry about, you could find your tribe, There are a lot of forums. I think there's still forums around, but you could be a little more real. You didn't have to worry about this popularity contest of how many likes and how many shares, tweets, upvotes, whatever the word is. And then there's other people. Yeah, and that's the one other thing I wanted to get into. Social media helps perpetuate this whole high school mentality that life is just a big popularity contest. And people, I mean, I know what you're going to say. Obviously, I'm unpopular, and that's why I don't like it. The people who love it are the ones that get all the attention. And maybe you got a point there, but I don't know. I mean, have you heard that quote, comparison is the thief of joy? Well, that's true. But I don't know. Social media is just one more reminder that high school never ends. So we have to kind of, if you're like me and think all this stuff is just juvenile and immature or whatever you want to call it, then we just have to realize this is something that has evolved, that has kind of exposed certain types of people for who they are, and we can't let this whole thing with worrying about likes and shares, views, etc., get us down, you know. Even though deep down we know, I mean, intellectually we know, it seems like popularity and social proof and all this stuff seem to be the order of the day, whether we're, as much as we want to escape from it. So, but anyway, that's my 2 cents. If you really agree with me, if you feel the same way about social media, I'll tell you what, do me one better. Comment. Let me hear your thoughts. Do you like the internet better now, or did you like it better back when you could be a little more authentic and not get caught up in this whole thing about popularity and how many people like such and such or this or that, the other thing? So just let me know I'm not the only one who feels that way. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.